my YouTube channel. I'd like to thank everybody for coming to the channel, liking, subscribing, leaving your comments, whether positive or negative. You know what I mean? We got another news story today, that we're going to be talking about. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody who's going to catch this live now, those who are going to catch this live in the middle, and those who are going to catch this live when it uploads to YouTube. We're streaming live from the camera phone right now. We got another live later on the StreamYard and whatnot. Y'all know my disclaimer, I'm not a pastor, preacher. I don't hold any type of office in the church, so please do not lay claims of those titles on me. We're not here to violate any type of privacy guidelines, any type of copyright infringement, or any of that nature. Shout out to everybody that's out there tuning in once again. You know what I mean? So, I heard this story this morning, or whatever the case may be. Shout out to everybody in the chat room, first of all. What up to Courtney M? Shout out to you. What's up to Michelle B? Shout out to you. Craig Giselle, what up, what up, what up? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Appreciate the encouragement. You know what I mean? At Craig Giselle. What's up to Georgina Flemings, one of my channel moderators. Shout out to you. What's up to 10 Ninjas? Shout out to you. Henry Ross says, I'll hope the TOG security be on their guard at the convention center coming up. What up to TNT? Shout out to you. Loretta Booker. Express, shout out to you. Tanya Bond, shout out to you. Express says, men nowadays want to play sniper war on real life innocent people to gain some clout and popularity. Absolutely. All right, so today, as some of you know, I reside in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's where I reside. And some people putting it on Facebook, there's a sniper out there. There's no sniper out there. You understand? It's somebody that's out there plucking off and unaliving people during the wee hours of the night. You understand? Now, if you want to say they're using a sniper, hey, that's on you. Whatever tool that they're using, they're taking out innocent people that's out there, and what have you. Preferably, 12, 1 in the morning, and things of that nature. You understand? Who knows? It may be daytime the next time. You know what I mean? But one thing I will say, I'm not afraid of nobody. Nobody, no bullets or anything like that. I only fear God. That's it. You understand? So what's done in the dark, most likely will be brought to the light. You understand? So the story comes out. You know how people on social media, they try to change the narrative. Oh, it's like the DC sniper. It's this, it's that. Without reading the full details. It says 5 was unalive, several others injured, and shootings across Charlotte within 48 hours. 48 hours. Right? It says 5 people were unalive, and at least 3 others were hurt. And multiple shootings across Charlotte, Monday evening into Tuesday. It says Charlotte Mecklenburg police responded to 2 deadly shootings late Monday night, including one on Parker Drive near Remount Road around 9 p.m. When officers arrived, they learned that 4 people had been shot. One of the victims, later identified as LaMarcus Jackson, he was unalive, and the 17-year-old was injured and whatnot. You know what I mean? So they had another incident. A few hours later, they responded to another one. The incident happened along Statesville Avenue near Jefferson Adams Drive a little after 1 a.m. The victim, 58-year-old Mustafa Muhammad, was shot and unalived inside a Chevrolet Equinox. He had been shot in the abdomen. We believe this shooting is linked to several other shootings in a short time frame. So they go along with other shootings out here. And all they can offer is $10,000. Not that it's about money. But 4 or 5 people was unalived. And the police is offering 10 grand if you know some information about that. You can't be serious. You understand? That should be more so y'all job. You got cameras all around the city and you can't catch this person. You got license plates readers out here and you can't catch this person. That's crazy. They got cameras all over the place. All over the place. At lights, intersections, people got cameras at their house. And you mean to tell me you can't catch these folks? Unaliving people? That's crazy. All right, let's go to the comments right quick. What's up to brother Jonah? One of my channel moderators, Christopher Span. Another one, Mercy Carr, shout out to you. Mr. Hampshire, God bless you, God bless the chat. So there's a sniper in North Carolina? No. Just a person out there who's just going around unaliving people. I wouldn't say with a sniper. You know, sniper's a little bit more, you know, hitting. They don't describe them as, you know, sniper rifle-ish type. You know, just that people on Facebook and social media tend to change the narrative. You know? All right, what's up to E? Shout out to you. He says, unfortunately, people do not value life. I agree. I agree. All right, you says they got him. 16 years old, wasn't a sniper. You said they got him, I believe. Well, I do not see that update at the Great. That update is not here. Okay. So, okay, it just came out. The update, I mean, it just came out. I was gonna start this thing around 3:30. 3:30, and it came out around like 3:45. The update. You know what I mean? All right. Let's go to the update right quick. It was 2 teams. What these teenagers doing now at 1 o'clock in the morning, 15 and 16 years old, 17? You said it was a 16-year-old boy? What they doing at that time of night? Where's the parents? You know? So I'm trying to get to this news story, but they're blocking me. They're blocking me on one website and whatnot. So the Charlotte Observer says 2 teams. We got one website that says 1. This is why I kind of like waiting till days after. Right? Okay, here we go. Here we go with the news clip of one article. All right? So this says a gunman who randomly targeted people early Tuesday morning still has not been caught. So why they said 1 teenager has been caught in the article. Let's go. Because a lot of times these articles they give misinformation, which can mess YouTubers up or any type of people who's trying to report this type of stuff. Right? So he said he was randomly targeting people. Randomly. You randomly targeting people? A teenager? Wow. Nothing else better to do. Threw your whole life away. Whole life is gone now. Because you wanted to randomly target people and unalive them. Let you have walked upon the wrong person. You know what I mean? Let you have walked up upon the wrong person. All right? So one of the guys who was unalive, they got his picture up here. Wow. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I'm looking at the picture right now, man. That is crazy for sure. All right, let's go to these comments right quick. and whatnot. Right? Where we at? Rebel Eric says, those things don't happen to TOG. Has anyone ever heard anything close to violence happening? Well, you gotta be careful when you say stuff like that at Rebel Eric. You gotta be careful because it rains on the just and unjust. I mean, it's millions of members at the TOG. You know what I mean? And stories don't come out, you know, left and right. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to sit here and, me personally, I'm not going to sit here and say, listen, nothing like that happens to people in the TOG. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. You know what I mean? All right? But I will say folks need to be aware of their surroundings. Folks need to be aware of their surroundings, especially 1 o'clock in the morning. You know, they said that the gentleman was coming home from work. I don't know, he was parked somewhere, whatever the case may be. And they said that the kid, the teenager, just shot him. No reason. 16 years of age, you said the great? What you doing? What you doing outside? You got nothing else better to do? You know? All right? Let me see. He said it would, oh my goodness, come on, Rebel Eric. Salvation said there's a shooter on the run in Houston. Another one? Another shooter in Houston? Wow. Open your heart with up. Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Let me see. The great says, father likely not present. Mother is working multiple jobs or tricking. Well, I can't say that. That I can't say. You understand? Because some parents do their job as a mother, as a father, and still that child just, I don't know, go astray. But still that child still go astray. You know what I mean? All right? Express says the parents are nowhere to be found while the child is everywhere to be found. Fleming says they don't know the importance of life. What's up to Bless? What's up to Ernest Beard? Fleming says, don't know how these people sleep. Don't they have nightmares or have inner torment after committing such act? Courtney M says, some people have no conscience. Some people will lie still and unalive every day to the end. Wow. Appreciate that at Fleming's. Courtney M says, I was going to say the young kid was on his way to becoming a serial K. Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, you just never know. You just never know. Folks out there going to Walmart, going to Target, you just now getting off work. 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. Getting off work. You got somebody out there just looking to unalive people. You know? For no apparent reason. You know what I mean? All right? Let me see. Scotty Pippen, what up? Shout out to you. Appreciate that. Do they have any clue what it could be? What you mean, Craig D. What you mean? What's up to La Holmes? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Mr. Ham says, I can tell you this. It wasn't as many mass shooting when I was growing up. Discipline was in the home, and the government wasn't protecting these bad kids. Wonderful. Discipline. You beat your kids to a certain extent. They want to call DIFUS or child services. You know what I mean? Even a little pop. Pow. You know, a child, listen, sneaks on the phone and call child services. It's a problem. Better the parents than the police. You know what I mean? So, like you said, discipline is missing a lot from the homes. You know what happens when a child gets in trouble with the majority of the parents out here? They go buy them a laptop. They give them money to download a game. You know? Listen, go sit in your room for 5 minutes. How about a butt whooping with a switch, a belt, a metal bat, hard punishment? You know? These parents, the kids get in trouble, they just talk to them softly. All right, go back in your room, go play PlayStation 5. Go play Madden or 2K. All right? William says, did you hear all about the woman who stabbed a little boy to death at random? It was at a grocery store in Ohio. Everybody saw her with 2 knives in her hand and did nothing. I heard about that story. And that's the thing about a lot of people. That's the thing about a lot of people. They'll see somebody in trouble. They'll see somebody in trouble and won't do nothing. They'll do something. Guess what they'll do? Oh, where my camera phone at? Where my camera? They'll get their camera and start shooting. Oh man, this is gonna be some good material on World Star, on Facebook. While the woman is, unaliving a child. I got some good material. I got some good material. You know?
What a fool! What a fool. Amen.
These folks out here is crazy. They quick to pull out a camera phone versus doing something. That's crazy, man. You saw the woman unaliving a child and you did nothing? Oh, it's on. It is on. You know what I mean? All right? And a lot of times, listen, the devil knows. The devil knows. You understand? All right? That's why, honestly, me personally, let me know if I'm wrong about this one. If a woman has kids, right? I don't recommend her to go to a crowded area or areas that's dangerous, or if you haven't cased the place out, look around, check your surroundings with children. Bring a man with you. Bring your brother, your uncle. You know what I mean? If you caught a guy, bring him. Somebody who got some oomph in them, not somebody who got track shoes on. Because folks out there, they're looking for the most vulnerable people. And the majority of the time, they're looking at or for vulnerable people. Vulnerable people. Listen, I go outside running at nighttime. You listen, you think a man who would try to mug a woman and try to assault her in such a way would try that with a guy? No. No way. You understand? Because he know he gonna have to go through some stuff. More so. You know what I mean? So a lot of times these folks out here, They look for vulnerable people. All right, you know, the person that's going to be the least troublous or what they think. You know what I mean? All right. Let's see. Mercy Carr said that's scary. Never know where trouble is surrounding you. You never know. You understand? Listen, I keep my eyes open. Not saying I'm afraid of anybody, but I keep my eyes open. You understand? You never know who's watching, what people agendas are, what they have, their wicked agendas. You know, you go into a supermarket or Walmart, next thing you know, somebody's bucking off at people randomly. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You understand? Yes, some people are packing. You know what I mean? Listen, some people in holiness, they don't believe in somebody should have a firearm. But riddle me this, if you're in a supermarket and somebody is randomly shooting at somebody, and that customer over there got the firearms to protect everybody, you're gonna be like, thank God. You're gonna be like, thank you, Jesus. You understand? Cut it out. Cut it out. Thank the Lord for that brother right there with the Glock 19. Wow, he's a sharpshooter. All right? Y'all funny, man. Seriously. You know, there's people in church that's packing. You know what I mean? People are arming themselves. And I'm surprised that, you know, in a state like North Carolina, those folks who were shot wasn't armed. You know what I mean? But then again, not a lot of people is comfortable with having a firearm. Or, you know, some people out there are scared of firearms. Even if, you know, they're trying to learn self-defense with a firearm. You know? All right? What's up to William Shepherd? Shout out to you. Forever Faithful, shout out to you. Where am I at? He says, understandable, but not always reality. What are you talking about at Courtney M? You stated that not a lot of protective men with the single mothers. Understandable. I said if they can. Correct. My correction is if they can get a guy, a brother, an uncle, you understand? Somebody that they're courting, you know, or just, you know, look around and check your environment. Check your environment. Look around. Feel the environment. Fill it out. You understand? All right. Rebel says, this is true. My oldest nephew, unalived, shot 12 times and tooth knocked out, all because he wanted to run the streets. His dad was there and a very positive guy. Mom was in his life as well. For sure. Listen, parents, they could be good parents. Excellent parents. Some kids just go astray. You know what I mean? They could get anything they want. The latest Jordans, Louis Vuitton, go to good schools, spoiled. Nice environment to live in, and get 30 years to life for unaliving people. They want to be down. You understand? Some individuals that's living good, they want to be in the streets. Why? You got a golden ticket. You understand? All right? Fleming says, don't understand this sacredness of life. He said, this includes the killer. Killer takes someone's life, not realizing theirs is lost too. All right? He says, and the thing that ticked me off the most is that she's smiling in court. All right, forever faithful. We have to use our common sense depending on the place or reason going. You might not have the time to wait on anyone else. Well, it's better to wait to be safe. Better to wait to be safe. Check out the area. You know? I was watching the Buffalo dude who was plucking people off. Got out the car. Plucked this one lady off. She was gone. She was gone. Quick. You know what I mean? And granted that, you know, situations do happen. I'm not saying all the time. I'm not saying all the time. Whenever a female can. Whenever people can. You know? It's sad that it got to come to a time like this. It's sad. You know? All right? Craig says, what cowards people are. Absolutely. All right? He said, you know of look like, bold like a woman, so a man might try you. I don't understand what you're saying at Ozzy. You gotta rephrase that. Mercy Card says, amen. He says, Tony, to help be a lookout, for you and the child and themselves as well. Mr. Ham says, I'm going to be honest. A lot of women make it hard for men what want to protect them. A lot of black women, not all. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He might turn this thing around. Uh-oh. I don't know. You know? Sounded like you might turn this thing around. And Mr. Ham. Why do you say that at Mr. Ham that, you know, a lot of women make it hard for men to want to protect them? Why do you say that at Mr. Ham? What reasonings do you have? Let me know. All right? Open Your Heart says, I was in 7-Eleven. There was a mom wouldn't purchase the child what he wanted. The child started screaming and told her out loud, I hate you, B. Y'all, I had a true mom moment. I had to get out fast. Wow. Wow. Now, true disciplined parents, listen, that's a knockout right there. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. That's a knockout. Call 911. That's a knockout right there. You know, and we see kids, I see kids in Walmart, you know, acting up, you know, catching a tantrum and whatnot inside the store. Disrespecting their parents. Parents just standing there looking stupid. Don't look at me. My kids over here is calm. Don't look at me. You know? But yes, there's a lot of children out here, man, that just curse their parents out left and right. Call them the B word, drop the F-bomb. You know what I mean? And the parents don't do anything. You know? All right, Rebel says, do you think where you raise your kids has an effect on upbringing? Somewhat. Somewhat. I mean, I grew up in Jersey City, New Jersey. Around violence, drugs, guns. You know. I shunned away from that stuff. You know what I mean? So very few people can make it out like that without getting involved in that type of stuff. You know what I mean? All right? Excuse me. Open Your Heart says, I got my protection. I pray that I don't have to use it. My heart is big, but I'm not a punk, okay? Henry Ross says, firearms could be scary for some, but it can be liable for sporting purposes and hunting only. Craig says, for some reason, people around the Northeast area seem like they're looking to fight for no reason. People can be bitter in general as well. I agree. What's up, Gino P? Shout out to you. TNT said, Judas came from Jesus' circle. Satan came from heaven. Certainly a child can go bad from a good home. Amen. What's up, Zuzu? Shout out to you. Henry Ross says, there's the Holy Scriptures that needs to be obeyed. All right. What was I? Fleming says some folks are really weird in a way, need to dominate, need for some kind of power, insecure. Craig says, I'm always scanning my surroundings and watching people near me because I've seen people hit others behind the head and other stuff. Don't want to get ganged up on. Fleming says they have this mindset without emotional connection, and so he or she blocked out any moral values they once had. Wow. All right, more comments. Marcy, says they go astray because they hanging with the wrong crowd. They pretending to be a true friend, but really they are not. TNT says, I understand what Brother Ham is saying because a lot of women have butch tendencies and want to act like men, so how can a man be with someone like that? Okay, I understand what you're saying. Yes, some women are like that. Some. You're trying to say that they act like, manly, like they can actually handle themselves in any and every situation. I would say this to everybody who act like that. Some people out there, their heart can exceed what they physically can do. You understand? Listen, step aside, let the man handle certain things. You know what I mean? There's a lot of men out here that want to protect the woman. They want to. But like you said, some women, they act in such a manner like that at TNT and Mr. Ham. Where we at? Craig says, I gotta say it's a good thing I did get the belt growing up. It definitely kept me in line. And I always knew to be respectful. Fleming says, how people adjust to their experiences or environments, coping with the pain. Christopher Spanish says, my mother used to tell us before we enter the store, don't touch nothing. If you ain't buy nothing, if you break anything, I'm breaking your behind. Stay close to me, don't wander off, and don't ask. Wonderful. I like that. You know what I mean? Don't wander off. Stay right here. Stay right here. All right, Sam Ellis says, you don't blame the kids, though. You got to blame the parents. Kids learn from what they see. To a certain extent. To a certain extent, kids can pick up, negative habits from the parents. Because we're not around our kids 24/7. They go to school, they go to recreation or whatever the case may be, and they're around other kids that they can pick up negative habits. That's why good parents, listen, talk to your kids about a lot of things. Don't fold to peer pressure. Don't smoke weed. Don't smoke cigarettes. Don't do this. Don't do that. If somebody tell you this, don't fall for the okie doke. You know what I mean? And I know, kids out there try to tease other kids for not doing certain things. You know, even with virginity. Take it there. You know, I know a lot of us, you know, was hard-headed when we was young. So that went away. You understand? But of course we got to teach our children not to do certain things. And that is one of them. You know? Don't offer, listen, okay, as long as you use protection. I know we was hard-headed. Listen, yeah, we did the do when we was young. But now we got to enslaved a better way. You understand? A better way. Wait till you get married. Well, they're going to say, well, you didn't get married. Well, this is a better way for you to understand. You know, don't be like us. Be better than us. So to say, wait till you get married. Wait. You know? What up to What up to M Maxwell? What's up to Crystal? He says, have they found him? I'm waiting on the 5 o'clock news to come on. It's a couple of articles that's stating that they caught somebody. One article saying they caught somebody, another article seems, you know, different articles are saying different things. You understand? So 5 o'clock news could say one thing, you know, an article over here could say another thing. But for the most part, I saw an article that somebody was caught. Somebody. Not too long ago, the article came out, more so as we was, you know, doing this or uploading this video, as far as like scheduling it and whatnot. All right, but I'm looking for updates too, also on the story and whatnot. All right, let's get to these comments right quick. Marcy says they will go astray because they hanging with the wrong crowd that pretended to be a true friend, but they are really not. All right. Let me see. Salvation says a lot that's going on in the I guess you meant the world today is Bible prophecy. People will be lovers of pleasure rather than of God. Mr. Ham says my grandkids' friends' parents know they can't come over with my grandkids if they have a problem with me disciplining them. For sure. All right, Salvation says raise up the child in the way that he or she should go, according to the principles of the Holy Scriptures. She will not depart. Amen to that for sure. At Salvation. Courtney M says us little hood kids have a tendency to want to dabble in the streets sometimes and get caught up. Well, that could be true. That could be true. You know, a lot of children out here. Who's influencing the kids more so in these days? Rap music. You understand? There's new rap music and whatnot. Negative stuff on TikTok and YouTube. They like that type of stuff. They want to be like the rappers. They want to be like video games and whatnot. Violent video games. You know, I'm not saying that's 100% of the influence, but it has a heavy influence on the kids in these days. You understand? What would possess a 16-year-old kid to go out 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock at night on a bike and randomly unaliving people? Where's the parents at? You understand? Where is the parents and whatnot? You know? All right? He says social media is influencing the kids and adults too. I agree. Social media. All this nonsense, all this wickedness and whatnot. You know? Folks watch things that don't value nothing for their mindset. They rather watch gossip and nonsense. Gossip. What's the latest gossip out here? Who's sleeping with who? You know what I mean? Who's sleeping with who? I'm talking about all day. I'm not talking about something for a couple of minutes or watching something for a couple of minutes. Folks on social media all day watching nonsense. Nothing to edify their mind at all. You understand? And they wonder why, they're going through a lot of things. Depression, stress. Because you're putting negative and you're putting filth in your mind. You ain't putting nothing positive. You ain't talking about nothing positive. You understand? So a lot of these individuals out here, they like juicy stuff. Who's sleeping with who and who's with who? Oh, did you hear about that fight that they had? Every day, all day. Drama on Facebook. All right? Digital Masterpiece says, no fear, no respect in this younger generation. He says, babies, parents being best friends with their children, sad man. A parent who became a best friend with their child. Best friends. Father and son, mother and daughter out in the clubs, drinking, popping bottles, sleeping with the same person with no headgear on. You got mother and daughter out there sleeping with the same man. And they think it's cute. The mother and daughter dressing like a thotism. Dancing on social media, twerking. Thinking it's cute, and you got the family members and friends liking it. Father and son banging the same chick. Banging. He got her at 6 o'clock. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's smoking the same joint. Father passed to the son. The son passed to the mother. The mother passed to the grandfather. The grandfather passed to the great-grandfather. Sad, man. All right. Sam Ellis says, can you please make it about opening your own business? Opening your own business. Somebody mentioned that before. There was somebody who recommended that to talk about something like that, and I want to get my coach in Jersey City on here. He's an accountant. He's good with the stocks and he owns some stuff. Be a good conversation. You know what I mean? Definitely be a good conversation one day. All right? Fleming says parents need to engage their children in activities. For sure. Khadijah Reed says, what's going on here in Charlotte? I missed it. Just finished talking to my daughter. Well, there was a shooter or shooters in Charlotte, North Carolina. Going out randomly unaliving people in the wee hours of the night. One excluding around 9 p.m. one day. So they unalived 5 people and injured a few. And speculation is that, it was a teenager or teenagers who was doing it. So they was going out on a bicycle, car, whatever, and just plucking people off randomly. Just imagine, those out there in Charlotte, residents. And Charlotte is becoming busy. It seems like Charlotte is becoming busy every year. All right, Open Your Heart says, I remember when I wanted to be a parent of 15 children. I'm so blessed to have only one because I believe the Lord Jesus saved me from prison life. Fleming says parents need to boost their child's self-esteem. All right. TNT says, I've seen exactly what Tony talking about. Parents drinking and smoking with their kids. That's sad, man. That's sad. That a father want to be friends with his son. I mean, it's to a certain extent. Very to a certain extent of a crumb. But other than that, we ain't buddies. We ain't cool. I remember my oldest son called me bruh. I said something like, oh really, let's go out there and fight. And I'll show you something. I said something like that. Don't call me that. You understand? Don't call me that. You know? And I was serious too. Don't even call me that. You know? It's either dad, daddy, or father. You know? Don't call me none of them names. Because we ain't cool like that. You understand? Because I treat you like one of them bruhs out there. You know? I don't play those games. You hear me? All right? Fleming says, Tony, these parents need to be more consistent with their discipline and stop trying to get along, be friends with their children. Yeah, I agree. I agree. You know, and you can't discipline a child and then try to go out and be buddy or smile in the face or make a joke. Can't do that. I don't do that. I don't. And I mean, granted that some children, you know how to get under a parent's skin. You know what I mean? They do. Preferably mothers. No offense. You know? I think I used to do that as a child. You know what I mean? Because I was so spoiled. I was spoiled rotten. You know? All right? Where was I? You said some parents are terrible role models. You said heathens birthing heathens to celebrate their heathens on holidays. AG says, going to tell the story how he left his home in glory. He says how he walked on land and sea, how new life with him begins. What are you trying to say? All right. Henry Ross says, unalive, you meant to say they're on a... Well, I'm not going to say certain words on here based upon YouTube stipulations. So I'm trying to keep certain words at bay. You know, if we say Skittles, we can't say the other word. If we say unaliving, we're trying to keep, you know, from certain words. You know, so yes. At Henry Ross. He said, what about Pops? I mean, that's fine. He said, so your son cannot call you Brother Harvin. No! No! Because I don't know what he gonna mean. I don't know what he probably meant. And these days, these children, we're gonna stick to Pops or Father or whatever y'all say on here. You know? Picture some kids calling their mother Ma. Oh, what's up, sis? What's up, Ma? What up, sis? What? A child calling a mother sis? Whew. Man, oh man. Man, man, oh man. Let's look how that sounds. Imagine, but don't imagine, but imagine your child calling you sis. Even if they are up in age. I don't care if you're 21, 30. You know what I mean? I'm going to still try to keep this in, keep that in shape along with the wrestling. You know what I mean? And some kids, they get tall and they get big and they think they could do something. You think? Don't do it. Don't you do it. You understand? All right. What's up to Nicole Martin? Another one of my channel moderators. Shout out to you. Hope all is well. You said laying down the law. Yo, y'all funny, man. Y'all real funny for sure. All right. You said YouTube is going to be forced to allow free speech again. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, in certain cases, yes, but I don't know. A lot of people are sensitive in these days. So I guess that's why YouTube cracked down a bit as far as like certain terms and certain words and whatnot at AG. He said, I'm laying down the law. You funny. Rebel Eric said, some call their mom a female dog. That's nasty. Yes, that's true. Excuse me. That is true. Call a mother the B word. What? Wow. Now that's pure disrespect. Wow. I'm sorry, but a child will be picking up their teeth off the floor. You know what I mean? Call 911, call whoever. And when I get bailed out, I don't mind doing it again. You understand? I get bailed out again. It's going to be some more. You understand? All right? He said YouTube forcing people to play their word games. He's funny. He said, I have 5 feet residual anger. TNT says it's always the short ones. He's funny. Well, I just feel as though that, respect your parents. You know what I mean? Granted that, a lot of us, males with our mothers, we could get under your skin, as I have when I was a kid. I do get that. Excuse me. You know what I mean? A mother's love, a mother's touch, children can feel that. And that's why it's recommended that, fathers should be around. You understand? I mean, I know it's tough for a lot of people out here as far as like being a single mother and what have you. If that father's not around, then, maybe you have an uncle or brother, or a male cousin who can, fill some of those roles as a father figure to that child and whatnot. It's sad that, a lot of men out here, even if they get up in age, 35, 40, they still don't want to be in their children's life. You know what I mean? It's a sad case. It's a sad case, And then when somebody else step up to the plate and fulfill that father figure role, they want to get upset. I was watching, I think it was on Facebook or something like that, or somebody was showing me a video. Man in the barbershop, you taking his stepson or his girlfriend's son to the barber, and a biological father want to come in there and try to play the daddy role. The boyfriend is on the phone with the mother saying, you ain't pay your child support, you ain't been doing this. Why you want to step in now? Because you see a man filling in your shoes as a father. Don't come in now. When you see a fella who's trying to step up to the plate to be a father figure, why now? You understand? So a lot of men who don't want to take care of their kids, you're going to miss out on a lot of, precious moments. A lot of golden moments. When you're a father or parent in general, that quality time that you build up with your children, even if you're just sitting down, watching Roadrunner and Coyote, meet. You understand? Old classic cartoon. Even if it's just that, 5 minutes, you're creating and building a bond. Even if you're just in the car, just driving. You understand? Cracking jokes. It's quality time with kids. All right? You got that right at Nicole Martin. Appreciate that. He says, where's the father when these children gets out of line? Digital Masterpiece says, some daughters and moms call each other's B's and H's like besties. Oh yeah. Mother calling her daughter a B and vice versa. That's my B. What? I don't know, man. I don't know. They think that's cool to call each other a B and H's and whatnot. They think it's cute. They on Facebook. Prom season come around. You know what I mean? The mothers dressing the daughters like thoughts. Cleavage out. Know what that's saying? Know what that's saying to a lot of these teenage boys? I'm ready to get pregnant. Order in the court. Order in the court. They think it's cute. I didn't go to prom. I actually got in trouble in school. Excuse me. I was in zero tolerance in my junior year for like the last few months. I didn't go to prom. But even in my senior year, I just didn't find the prom interesting. I said, I'm spending $500 for what? To get some cookie? I'm spending $500 to look nice just to get some cookie? What I need to do that for? All I need is $20 to go to the movie theater and bam. Not that I condoned it, but that's what a lot of these parents are doing right now. You know what I mean? I would have hoped I would have known better to wait for marriage. You know what I mean? Let's clarify that. But when prom season come around, you see it. You see it. They don't need to, listen, they don't need to dress up. Just wear a t-shirt. I'm ready to get pregnant. Tonight. That's all it is. Oh, my daughter look cute. Wow, she got a nice dress on. She's pretty. Y'all look at the family out here supporting this thought-looking woman, little girl. You know, if they spent more energy on putting up like grades. Wow, my daughter made the honor roll. Wow, I want my daughter to go to Spelman or Duke University. Folks don't want to hear that too much. But when they see the prom, or they see the girl dressed up half naked, 500 likes. You put up My daughter got accepted to Spelman or Harvard. She got a scholarship of $500,000. 20 likes. Not that it's about likes and popularity, but you'll see it. You put up good stuff. They won't, folks out there won't support it as they would support a daughter who's half naked, backwards. You know what I mean? So I commend the parents out there who's putting up, if your children got good grades and stuff like that, and they want to go to college and better their education and stuff like that, they want to have a good career, you're showing them in the right direction, you putting them in the right direction. I commend that. I respect that. You know what I mean? But a lot of these parents, like I see on my Facebook, I'll be like, oh boy. Oh boy. You understand? And they wonder why they got creeps around them. Let's go to these comments. All right, Span says, I could almost smell, what is that, ACPS representative in here, written after David's. TNT says, oh man, little boys be giving their mamas the blues. The Comar says, I believe if we respect our parents, God will bless us to live long on the earth, because we reap what we sow, and however we treat our parents, it will come back to us through our children. What's up to Brandon? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Brandon Lamar. Express says, I don't understand when biological father disappears out of the child's life, but when the child becomes successful, the deadbeat father wants to show up. That's a good point. Good point. Father's out the child life. Now, when the child get drafted in the NBA, the NFL, get a contract, rookie contract, $100 million, 5 years, Chicago Bulls. $75 million, 4 years. $30 million guaranteed. Nike endorsement. Apple endorsement. Now the deadbeat want to creep back in. Oh, that's my son. Oh man, I knew he had it. I was a ball player too. Where was you? Where was you? Did you even take the kid to school at least? So I understand that Express. And a lot of those ball players, even if you don't play ball, if you become successful even in computers, become a computer tech, a business owner, a lawyer, a doctor, a judge. Now they see you successful. Don't come now when the bag is about to be right. You know what I mean? Don't come now. Don't come now. Listen, some mothers are that way. Some mothers are that way, I think, I don't want to assume something. I think there's this boxer out here. He's from Jersey City. The father, brought him up in another state. Now he's a popular fighter right now. I ain't gonna say his name. You know what I mean? When you scan his IG out, no pictures of his mother. When he got a name and stuff like that, now you wanna put him up now? Now you wanna endorse him? You understand? All right. Jonah says, I believe I'm not supposed to have kids, but either way, I'm okay. He says, I wanted one daughter named Karina. What? With my ex, because she was the only woman I ever loved, and even still. Aww. Aww. How sweet. How sweet. Hey, Flemings, why you laughing, Flemings? Oh. Why you laughing, Flemings? You know, but sometimes it's like that. Sometimes a person, listen, they could just love one person forever, and that's it. They don't want nobody else. And that's much respect. You understand? He says, gotta be honest, but she's a liar. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, never mind. He said she's a liar. Never mind. You know? He said, Judge Tony. What up, Zuzu? Absolutely at TNT. Jonah says, I never went to prom, dropped out 10th grade, but got my GED at 19. Went to my girlfriend's prom at the time. You're talking to Henry Ross. It said, Mr. Ham says, so the prom get them ready for baby making. Mercy Carr said, that's not cool, calling each other names. He said, something is wrong with that picture. I believe jealousy is in both of them to do that. Span says, I went to prom. I was fornicating, drunken, high heathen that night. Prom season. When prom come around, you know. Fellas know that is a time. Listen, people know what time it is when prom come around. And a lot of parents should know also when they went to their prom. Granted that some go to the prom just because. They don't go there for, to get the cookie. But the majority of people go to prom for the cookie. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. Majority of people who go to prom are going for the cookie because they know, listen, her parents or his parents, they're going to give her more time out. Let's be honest. Anybody who went to the prom on here, what was on your mind that day? What was on your mind that day? Unless you had your menstrual, what was on your mind that day? What was on your mind? Cut it out. All right? Henry Ross says, but how do you know if the mother kept the father out for those days of their children's life? That's a good point right there. That's a good point. How does somebody know? That's a good point. And granted that, some mothers do keep the children out the father's life. I'm going to correct this. Out of a good father's life. You know what I mean? That's not good. Of course not. If a woman got a good father, if a woman has a good baby father or a good father of her children, why keep him away? You know what I mean? What is it going to be? Are you going to complain about deadbeat dads or children need more good fathers? But you got some of them same women that keep the good fathers away because they spiteful. Spitefulness, upset, jealous. Because maybe the man got a new woman. What does the new woman got to do with him being a good father? That has nothing to do with it. Nothing. If a man want a new woman, right? But he's a good father, it has nothing to do with his parenting at all. See, what a woman would say is, well, you trying to get rid of us. us, parenting and relationship is two different things. Two different things. Being with a woman or a woman being with a man, two different things from parenting. Of course, they can go together when they're together, but once two people split, that separates. And just because he or she don't want to be with you, right, for their own reasons, they didn't do nothing wrong as a parent on the parent side, because if they're a good parent, it has nothing to do with the relationship with you two. But some people out there are spiteful, real spiteful. Some. Guys are too. Guys are spiteful too. You understand? The woman got a new man. Got the new man around the kids. Listen, it's going to be that way. Whether you like it or not. Whether a person like it or not. You cannot keep the kids away from the parent if they have a new partner. Now, if you got evidence that the other partner is using drugs or something like that, then hey, you have a justifiable argument. But just because that person got a new individual, that could be a good person. You understand? Some people can't handle it. It's tough for a lot of people. You know what I mean? So what they do, they try to keep the children away, or the guy will try to cause havoc in a woman's life. Don't be having that around my kids. Starting trouble. That's still my cookie right there. What? She done left you. She done moved on with her life. As bad as it may be hurtful that the woman don't want to be with the man. Listen, that ain't your cookie no more. You understand? Now she married. She happily married. 10 years go by. He's still thinking that's his cookie. 10 years in the past. You got some people out there. 15 years in the past. They still thinking the ex is theirs. You understand? All right? Let's get to these comments. Fleming said they say spending time with children is more important than spending money on children. I agree with that. I like that one. I like that one. Spending time with children is more important than spending money on children. I like that one. Because that's true. That's true. You know? All right. TNT says baby mamas can be some drama for real. All right. Henry Ross says, what is prom anyways? Because in a movie they make it like something appreciated, but then shows nudity as well. In the same venue, they're dancing sickening. Mr. Ham says, my kids' moms tried to keep my kids out of my life because I was in the streets, but I wasn't having that. Fleming says, why is it so easy to have a gun? Well, different states got different laws. You know, for example, in the state of New Jersey, New York, strict gun laws. Strict. Very strict. Maryland is 75-25. DC, 60-40. But when you get further to the south, like Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia, they're a little bit more lax on the gun laws. But of course, you can't be no felon or convicted felon. You know, they sell guns right at Walmart. You understand? They sell guns right at Walmart. You know? All right. He says, and what does the prom kings and queens are supposed to do anyways? I don't know. That I don't know. At Henry Ross. Christopher Span says, I said this before. Once you apologize, once you change the behavior, once you start doing right, listen here, they become more bitter than ever. All right. Paul says, what's your stand on divorce and remarriage while the first spouse is alive? Listen, we'll have that conversation later. That conversation is around 6:30, 7 o'clock. So we'll talk about that later. You know what I mean? So that question will be answered if you're there on that live. We're not talking about that right now. You understand? We talking more so about the state of kids and parents due to the situation of this teenager who was around here unaliving people randomly. That's what we're talking about right now, not divorce and remarriage. That's the next for the next video. You know what I mean? We already scheduled that earlier. Listen, if you've seen that and you ask me that question right now, something wrong with you. But if you didn't see it, then that's understandable. You know? All right. Where we at? Oh my goodness. Let me get a mic check. Mic check. Mic check. All right. AG says great state of Texas is open carry, although I don't see any. Well, here's the thing. A lot of people don't want to show off their firearm. You know what I mean? Smart individuals, clever ones, they carry concealed. You know what I mean? So, you know, move nice and swiftly and smooth. You know, but you got people out there like to show up. They got a rifle here. They got the Glock here. They got their gun showing here. You know? All right, where we at? Well, we're not talking about marriage at Betty. Next video. You know what I mean? That's the next video. Span says sometimes the person who done the hurting recognizes the trauma they've done to the individual and tries to make it right by action and not lip service. Harboring old hurts and feelings never. Mr. Ham says here in Indiana you can carry a gun without a license as long as you're not a felon. Well, here's the thing. I recommend people, you know, if they're going to get their gun, they're going to have to be very, very careful with these laws out here, man. You understand? I know some people in the Troop of God, they got guns for hunting purposes. Hunting purposes and whatnot, you know? But earlier, a lot of people out here are scared of guns. You know what I mean? A lot of people out here. And it's very important to know the safety measures of, you know, a weapon. You know what I mean? He says, Paul, you're one live too early with that question. Hey. Sure. Let me see. Where we at? Henry Ross says, do you think due to this hypocrisy of man-made religion theology from Christianity have something to do with what's happening here on this earth? Why children are disrespectful? Well, I'd say various reasons. Various reasons. And whatnot. You know, look at the type of discipline that you can compare from now and before. You know what I mean? It's lack of discipline in these days. Lack. Versus before. A lot of us when we grew up, listen, it was more people getting beatings and whatnot, but we understood as children. You beat a child these days, a high percentage of the time, what are they gonna do? Call child services. You understand? All right. He says because some adults are disrespectful towards God, that's why them children are doing the same. I mean, that's a good point right there. Good point. I like that, Henry Ross. I like that. Fleming says gunfire used to be in the movies. Now it's on the streets, malls, churches. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Folks out here, they think it's a video game. So when they come outside, they wanna live that video game. There's some games out there. Grand Theft Auto. Call of Duty. They got that in their head. They're fascinated by all that type of violence in the video games and whatnot. The music. You know, the drill rap that talks about unaliving people. They think it's cool. Yeah, you want to throw your life away? 30 years of life? He says Final Fantasy is the worst. He says Resident Evil. Laws change consistently too. Keep up to date for your protection. At Courtney M. All right, let's get to some more of these comments. Mr. Ham says the unaliving rate has went down since they passed the law in Indiana to carry without a permit. To carry without a permit. What about registering your firearm? What about the registration of your firearm? You know, out there. I know when you buy a firearm, you have to do like a background check and stuff like that. So that serial number to that firearm or weapon that you have will be attached to your name. So therefore, I think that's why a lot of states classify you don't need your license, because, you know, that serial number is attached to your name and vice versa. You know what I mean? Whereas though you already got the background check done, you already got everything done. So you're cleared and you're considered sane to have that firearm, you know what I mean, on you, or firearms on you. You know? All right, so they might say that, listen, you don't need a license because we have the information attached to your serial number on your firearm. You know? All right? He says Texas don't gun registration neither, and no license. Well, do they do it any other way? I mean, when you purchase a firearm, it has a serial number on it. It has a serial number on it. You know? So you mean to tell me in Texas, you can go into a store, you can go buy a firearm, your name won't be attached to that weapon at all? You know what I mean? There's no stipulations. If I go into Texas, if I go into a store in Texas, listen, I want me a Glock 45. I could just get it. I could have a firearm. My name is not attached to the gun. Is that what you're telling me, that AG? All right. Rolly says, check out my song Feelings or Rose. Well, if it's of the devil, I don't want to listen to it. All right. Span says, I said it before, I said it again, pay close attention to the state legislators and the bills that trying to ultimately pass. AG says, maybe the gun seller sends info to the state. Most guns are purchased at gun shows. Well, it still needs to be some type of attachment to that person with the serial number. Because if somebody steals your weapon, you have to report that to the police, right? And you have to know your serial number. Because if somebody steals your gun and it's a serial number on it, and they go out there and do mischiefs, guess who that gun is attached to? You. You. I said, whoa, wow, they got this gun, man. It was purchased here. You know what I mean? All right, Open Your Heart says, I purchased one and my name is attached to mine, and they made me wait for 45 minutes to an hour for a background check. For sure. For sure. Like, hypothetically speaking, let's say if somebody steal your firearm at Open Your Heart. You know, because some people leave their firearm in the car. Why? I don't know. Somebody steal it. Listen, somebody stole my firearm. You know what I mean? Law enforcement, what is the serial number to it? You know, because if it's out there that somebody's using it for mischiefs, we won't think it's you doing that. You have it reported. You know? All right. Shelly Moss says, shout out to Shelly Moss. Appreciate that. What's up to the truth of the gospel? You funny. The truth of the gospel. Fleming says, which is more likely to happen in the USA? Being shot by a police officer or by a random stranger? Well, that's a good question. That's a good question. You know? Well, over here in Charlotte, haven't heard anything bad about the officers or anything like that. I would say certain areas, you know, they got bad police officers, you know, still wearing, you know, the hoods and whatnot. They traded in their hoods for a badge and a gun, if you know what I mean. You know, but I think, you know, stuff like that on both sides can happen anywhere and everywhere in general. Sad, but yeah, of course, police supposed to protect and to serve. You know? All right? What up to Jiggy Boy? He says, don't take that long. AG says, if gun is in your car when car reported stolen and thief uses your gun, that's not on me. We just mentioned that. We just mentioned that. But if you don't report your serial number to the police, then what? It's about covering yourself. Somebody can steal your car with the gun in it, but if you don't report it, if somebody uses it, you're responsible because you didn't report it. You know? Just like if somebody steal your car and, you know, blow through the tolls. If you didn't report it to police, them toll violations are going to come to you. And you're going to be responsible for it. Now, if you had told the police, you know what I mean? Then you won't be responsible for it. Runs parallel to, you know, reporting your gun in. You understand? So it's all about covering yourself. All right? He said, Texas only recommends you get gun training. I agree. I recommend that too. Get some good gun training. You know, especially those out there who's hunting and stuff like that. You know, if you go hunting, of course, you're gonna need a backup. Because there's wildlife out there if you hunting deers and whatnot. I believe some of the ministers at the Troop of God, they do some hunting. They be cooking up some good food too. Good food. You know? But for sure, man, cover yourself. Learn about different features of a gun. Gun safety. Gun safety is important. All right? What's up to Paulette? Shout out to you. Hope all is well. Shelly Moore says, how do you feel about women carrying a gun for self-defense? Well, how do I feel versus the scriptures? There's some women out there that, carry guns for hunting purposes. Because, people in holiness, they don't believe nobody should have a firearm for self-protection or self-defense. But there's some that still have it. My opinion don't matter when it comes to the scriptures, but my opinion is, the thing is about women and folks out there. I see some women outside running 5 in the morning. It's dark outside. What are you doing? You understand? Or some women out there that get off work late and stuff like that. It's tough to really pinpoint if you're talking about the scriptures. But for me, I go by the boxing motto: protect yourself at all times. All times. Because you just never know. You know what I mean? But like I said, my opinion don't outweigh what the Word of God says. It don't. It don't. Some women carry pepper spray. You come outside, you got your kids, there's a possum right there. There's raccoons. There's a coyote. What you gonna do? Quote John 3:16? What you gonna do? Quote the prayer from Matthew chapter 6, verses 9 to 13? What you gonna do? You know what I mean? It happens. People live in areas where there's wildlife, bears, coyotes, foxes. You know what I mean? Having a conversation with a coyote ain't gonna do nothing. Or a bear ain't gonna do nothing. You could be getting up, rushing for work early in the morning. You come outside to your car, there's a coyote right there. It's a coyote. What you gonna do? You gonna panic? All right. He said, quote, John 3:16. Because some people are just over righteous. They're just over righteous. If I see something like that, I'm gonna call out this scripture. Yeah, it might work. But let's be real, man. You got a hungry coyote out there. You know what I mean? I've seen possums, coyotes. I'm delivering at this one man's house. He talking about his bears in the back. What? Okay. We'll be all right. We'll be fine. I don't know about you, partner, but I'll be fine. I live in areas where there's a bunch of woods. A bunch. Only one house in sight. With a Confederate flag. Huh? What y'all want me to do? Turn on program 999? That's not going to help me. What they want me to do? What over-righteous Christians want me to do? He said wrong turn. I don't know these over-righteous Christians out here, man. Some of them need to come with me. Let's do some deliveries, and I'm going to show y'all some of these areas. When you're by yourself in the woods, delivering. Nobody's around. There's just a house being fixed up. And you got to drop some drywall or something like that. You know what I mean? What you going to do? What you going to do? Right? AG says, friend in Colorado says every now and then a mountain lion will come down. A mountain lion. Wow. A mountain lion. Mm. All right. Where we at? I gotta see what time that second live start. I'll probably push it up a little bit. Mr. Ham says, I just delivered in a neighborhood that was in the Boondocks neighborhood that had a Confederate flag too. And here's the thing, I've delivered at places where there was a Confederate flag and all Caucasian people around. You know what? They were some of the nicest people. Some of the nicest people. Deep in the South. Deep in the South and whatnot. You know? Thank you, fella. Hand me a tip. You know what I mean? Thank you. Now get out of my way so I get up out of here. You know? All right? Let's go to some more of these comments. Turk says, wildlife stay in their habitat. I'm going to stay in mine. Let me see. Where we at? Just going through these comments. He said, no, sir. The person that delivered to was black. Y'all funny, man. What's up to Erica Price? Hey, Flemish, you funny. Flemish is funny. AG says, a lot of those people have a Confederate flag. You know, it's cool, man. That stuff don't bother me. You know, you can have a Confederate flag up. You can have a white sheet up. You know what I mean? That stuff don't bother me. You know what I mean? Going deep in the South. You know, you can have the vibes of how it was back in the day. The houses. People still got their old houses from back in the day. How it's just set up. You know? All right? Appreciate that, Courtney M. Shout out to you. Henry Ross says, I heard in the South there's still places that the blacks can't go. Is this true? Well, I don't know. I've traveled to a lot of places deep in the South. Deep in the South. You know what I mean? Hey, like I said, Confederate flags up. You know, it is what it is, man. You know, these folks are nice. I haven't ran into anybody that got any type of issues with black people. I run into more issues from my own kind than folks in these so-called racist areas. You know, people say, man, don't go there, man. They racist down there. I go through more racial problems with my own kind than folks deep in the South that supposedly are, you know, racist. You understand? All right? He said, does PJ have protection? I don't listen. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. What up to Simple Face, man? Should have been on last night, man. Should have been on last night. Should have been on. It's a good conversation last night. We're looking to have a good conversation in the next hour or two, and whatnot. You know, we're coming to a conclusion. Not a problem at Simple Face. We're coming to a conclusion. I definitely appreciate everybody for coming on, you know, having this conversation and whatnot. We'll be back on in the next hour or two to have more conversation. You know, we're going to be giving out feedback only on the teachings of, you know, Gino in reference to divorce and remarriage. You You understand? So if y'all got any last closing remarks, feel free to leave it in the chat room. And what have you. Definitely appreciate everybody for coming on once again. For tuning in. So we'll be back on Simple Faith soon. Shelly Moss says, I live in the city and we have problems with coyotes, wild turkeys, skunks, and big rabbits taking over our condo development. Not a problem at Henry Ross. Appreciate that at Open Your Heart. Appreciate that. Appreciate that at Courtney M. Appreciate that. God bless everybody out there. I'm Tony Harvin. I'm signing off. May you all have a wonderful and blessed evening. All right? Flemings, yo, you funny. What up, DJ? You came in late, man. You came in at the concluding portion of this video. But we'll be back live, Lord willing, in the next hour or two. All right? So God bless everybody out there. I'm Tony Harvin. I'm signing off. Peace, peace.